Have you ever felt like you're the only one trying to do the right thing in a world that seems to be going completely off the rails? It can feel lonely, right? Well, today we diving into a story about a man who knew that feeling better than anyone else. A man named Noah. Imagine a world so consumed by its own darkness. A world where humanity had turned its back on goodness to such an extent that it broke the heart of its own creator. The Bible describes it as a time when every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. It was a world spiraling out of control, filled with corruption and violence. It's a heavy picture, but it's the world Noah lived in. But in the middle of all this chaos, there was one person who stood out: Noah. He wasn't a king, a warrior, or a celebrity. He was simply a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Think about that for a second. While everyone around him was chasing their own selfish desires, Noah chose a different path. He chose to listen to God, to live a life that honored him. It wasn't the popular choice, but it was the right one. And because of his character, God looked upon Noah with favor. One day, God came to Noah with a message that would change everything. He revealed his deep sorrow over the state of humanity and his plan to wash the world clean with a great flood. But this wasn't just a message of judgment, it was a message of rescue. God gave Noah an incredible, and frankly, an insane-sounding task: build an ark. He gave him specific instructions: the type of wood, the exact dimensions, 3 decks, a roof, a door. He was to build a massive ship, not near an ocean, but on dry land. And he was to bring his family and pairs of every kind of animal into this ark. Can you imagine what Noah must have thought? Build a giant boat because a flood is coming? His neighbors must have thought he'd lost his mind. For years, maybe even decades, Noah and his family worked. Day after day, they sawed wood, hammered nails, and sealed the joints with pitch. People likely mocked them, laughed at them, and called them fools. Look at old Noah, building a boat in his backyard. Does he think it's going to rain that much? Yet through all the ridicule and doubt, Noah never wavered. He had faith. He trusted God's word more than he trusted the opinions of the world around him. This wasn't blind faith, it was faith in action. Every swing of the hammer was an act of obedience, a testament to his belief in God's promise. Then, the day came. The animals arrived 2 by 2, just as God had said. Noah, his wife, his sons, and their wives all entered the ark. And then God himself shut the door. The rain began to fall. For 40 days and 40 nights, water covered the earth, and the world was reborn. When the waters finally receded, and Noah stepped out onto dry land, the first thing he did was build an altar to worship God, and in return, God made a beautiful promise, a covenant not just with Noah but with all of humanity. He placed a rainbow in the clouds as a sign that he would never again destroy the earth with a flood. That rainbow is a reminder of God's faithfulness and his promise of new beginnings. The story of Noah is so much more than a children's tale about animals on a boat. It's a powerful story about faith, obedience, and the incredible impact one person's righteousness can have. Noah's decision to walk with God in a godless world didn't just save his family, it preserved the future of humanity. It shows us that even when we feel like we're the only ones, our choice to live with integrity and faith matters. It can literally change the world. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores these timeless truths. See you in the next one.